Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Hell Dominance, Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to see more. Coming up in today's episode, the 4 highlights of the Super League games that were played this evening. And Leigh took on Dewsbury in the Championship. So we'll begin today's episode with Super League fixtures, as there were 4 played on this Friday night, going in to a weekend that was full of rugby league action, to be fair. So, who were playing? Well, Huddersfield Giants hosted the Catalans Dragons with the early kickoff. We'll come to that bit later on. St Helens were at Leeds Rhinos, but for their match on Sky Sports, played at the Headingley Stadium. Hull KR, the Robins were at home against the Warrington Wolves, with another 8 o'clock kickoff, while Castleford Tigers entertained Toulouse the Olympique at the Menderhose Jungle. And we begin with the live game on TV, as St Helens were looking to come off the back of the defeat against Toulouse, the shock defeat, by putting more misery on the Leeds Rhinos. They would have to do it without Alex Wormsley though, because the big forward is still suffering from his hamstring injury, which he picked up 2 weeks ago, and coach Christian Wolff didn't want to risk him for 6 weeks in injury time with there's a hamstring problem. So the away team have Morgan Knowles returning to the 17 after missing Saints' win at Whitehaven in the Cup last week. James Roby is set to become the 4th Saints player to play 500 games for the club, while someone opposite end of the career, Josh Sims, will remain out of the team unfortunately, as he picked up a late injury, with Jonathan Benningson coming into the side as another wing replacement, as Regan Grace is forced to sit out the side again due to exacerbating his injury start to the 2022 season. Will Hapoate and Matt Lees and Sione Matautia remain unavailable through injury. For Leeds, they have made one change to the 17 following Brad Dwyer's ban for tripping. He joins Zane Tetavano, who's still serving the second of his 2-game suspension tonight. There will be no David Fasatua, with the winger requiring surgery, whilst Leeds confirm that Harry Newman is set to be out for 12 weeks owing to his own lot of surgery. And there's a welcome return for Muiz Mustafa on the bench for the first time this season. Saints are the first on the board after Conrad Hurrell breaks through a defence after a back of the scrum play sees him waltz into the try line without a touch on him. Makinson fails to add the extras, so it's 4-0 to Saints. Saints score again after the ball goes through the hands of Wellesby and Dodd to Makinson in the corner, who dives over spectacularly, but he couldn't add the extras, and it was 8-0 to St Helens. We go into the second half, and as Leeds were showing fresh impetus, a Liam Sutcliffe pass goes wayward straight into Tommy Makinson's hands, and he picked it off and ran 70 metres to score his second try of the game. He added the extras. Well, Mark Percival added the extras due to Makinson's tiredness to make it 14-0. Now for a piece of magic from Saints, as Lomax passes the ball out wide to Wellesby, who passes to Percival, who hands it on to Bennison, who passes the ball back inside for Lewis Dodd, unmarked, in a wonderful attacking left-hand breaks team try, which Percival adds the extras to, for a 20-0 lead. Then to finish off the scoring, Johnny Lomax decides to go himself after a great kick, chip and chase by the standoff to score just right to the left of the post, which Percival adds the extras for a 26-0 score. And that's how the score ends. But a great call for Benison to be involved in this side, as he was the one that caused a great break for Johnny Lomax's try. At the end of the game, the Saints players and their fans paid tribute to James Roby, who played his 500th game for the club, the Red V, St Helens. Roby has played 500 games now for St Helens after making his debut back in 2004 against Widnes at home at Knowsley Road. He has gone on to play 38 international games, at scoring 109 tries in total for St Helens and 6 for his international sides, Great Britain and England. Plus his individual honours include 4 Super Leagues, 5 Super Leagues. That's it, 5 Super Leagues, 4 Challenge Cups, been named in the Super League Dream Team on 5 occasions, and won the Harry Sutherland Trophy, and was Man of Steel in 2007. The next game we're going to look into is the Catalans Dragons' visit to Huddersfield as they face the Giants. But the trip was fraught with a little bit of difficulties, as the French club were delayed in getting to the game, which meant that the game was kicked off 35 minutes late at 8:20 Greenwich Mean Time. Here are the 2 teams for that game though, as the Catalan Dragons have lost Benjamin Julien to the concussion protocols after their Challenge Cup win over Hull Everston. He joins Dean Ware, Michael McAloran, Julian Busquets and Artur Morgs, who is close to a return but not quite ready, in the treatment room as they all missed the game through injury, while Mitchell Pearce and Jordan De Zera are both suspended. That means a return to the side for Artur Romano, as well as Tyrone May playing standoff, and Benjamin Garcia playing at in halfback. On the bench, Alex Da Costa, Michael Gudemont, Corentin de Cam and Matthew Koza are all drafted in. While for the home team, they're boosted by the returns of Josh Jones and Theo Farge to the 21-man squad and the starting lineups. Chris Hill and Chris McQueen are also back after being rested for the Cup last week, while Jake Cogger is also included within the squad for the first time in weeks, but doesn't make the final 17, unfortunately. Oh, yes, he does. He's at stand-up. Meanwhile, Tuilola here is included after pulling out of the win at Barrow last week at the last minute due to a fitness concern, while Will Price starts his suspension. So we begin with Catalans being the first team on the points after a Dylan Napper set-up drive sees them in front of the post. And Benjamin Garcia is scheming, looking for other plays, and he goes to the right when Danny Drinkwater drops it on his foot, where Samisoni Langi dives in for the first try of the game. Not long after though, Huddersfield are back in it. After a great setup run by Jones, sees Huddersfield attacking well into the Catalans' try line, and Danny Levi schemes, and it's a simple try for Owen Trout, who hands off one man to go over the line, which Ollie Russell converts. Then off of Theo Farge's kick, it's chased down by Huddersfield, and after Sam Tompkins drops the ball, it's Danny Levi who goes in for the try, which Tuilola here converts. For 12 points to 8 as Catalans go in just before half time, and it's Danny Drinkwater who starts scheming and running the options, and after he finds some support out wide, he passes the ball back inside for Tom Davis, who borrows his way over for the half-time scoreline of 12 points to 8. Just after half time, it's a penalty from the boot of Tuilola here, but Huddersfield are also back on the score sheet once again with Theo Farge as a kick goes in, which Theo Farge chases and puts the ball down over the line, which Lola here adds the extra 2 for a 20 points to 8 scoreline. Catalans come again though, after a good set-up drive by Mikel Gudamar underneath the sticks. Catalans go left, and as they go through the hands of Drinkwater and Tompkins, it's left to Chan to go over the try line for 20 points to 12. Which is 20 points to 12. 20 points to 12. But after a bit of bouncing around, it's Josh Jones who goes over the try line from the kick, which Tuilola here again kicks over the extras. And that is almost where the scoring ends, as Tuilola here adds another 2 to make it 28 points to 12 to the Huddersfield Giants. So our next game is Hull KR as they entertain Warrington Wolves at the Selwell Group Craven Park, which was a sellout. I think it was 10,079 sellout for the visit of the Wolves, which was fantastic after their news of being able to purchase the stadium over the last few days. So, who's playing for both sides? Well, Lachlan Coote is back for Hull KR in what is a major boost for Tony Smith and his side. He replaces Will Dagger in the starting lineup, with Ryan Hall set to play after being given a well-deserved rest in the Cup against Leigh last time out. Warrington are boosted by the early returns of Joe Bullock as well as Matty Ashton after a calf problem saw him miss the Cup game with Wakefield. Jack Hughes is in the mix as Ellis Robson drops out of the squad altogether after starting against Trinity. And as early as the 4th minute, Hull KR are in for the first try after Frankie Holton crashes over after a decent setup play that leads to the first try. The try is converted by Coote and it's 6-0 to Hull KR. Now on the 9th minute, after a decent setup play again in front of the sticks for Hull KR, the ball is shipped to the left hand side with some good handling as well as Ryan Hall's strength putting it in the corner. Coote hits this post from this conversion. And Hull KR come at it again in the 12th minute after Parcell and Mincello combine for Lachlan Coote to go over just right to the posts, which he converts his second conversion for 16 points to 0. And they're back in again as Coote steps a Warrington Wolves defender before putting in a grubber kick for Jimmy Kinehorse to score on the right hand side. Again, Coote hits the post for a 20 points to 0 lead. Warrington though come back into it after some great play by Peter Metaltia forces his way over for the first try for Warrington. This also with Joe Bullock being in the sin bin on the 37th minute due to multiple penalties and a half-time score of 20 points to 6. But Mikey Lewis gets his obligatory try after a long pass by Coote leaves Warrington stood still and he scores under the post, which Coote adds the extras for 26 points to 6. And there's a little break in play, unfortunately, as the next try comes on the 47th minute as the ball goes into the left-hand edge, which leaves Kane Lynette in the left. Sorry, Jez Litton scoring for 30 points to 6. which Coote unfortunately misses the conversion. Warrington are on the attack for them, and the ball goes through George Williams, who does a little dummy and dives over the line for another try for Warrington. Widdop converts to make it 30 points to 12. The attendance was actually 10,069, and after some great play and hand off to the winger Brian Hall, he goes in for his second try of the game for 34 points to 12, which Coote unfortunately misses the conversion. On the 69th minute though, George Williams is pulling the strings, and it's Josh Thulis, who's on the left wing today, catches out the Robins edge for the final score of OKR 34, Warrington Wolves 18. Just a quick one on the Warrington versus OKR result. You can hear it in the pundit's voice that they are concerned about Warrington, as they and Leeds are both not doing as well at all this season and find themselves languishing near the bottom of the table. It's a real shame, but it has to be winners and losers at some point. Warrington and Leeds are in the troughs at this moment in time. Hopefully not too long before they find the peaks again. And our final game for our episode is the Castleford Tigers versus Toulouse, as Toulouse head to West Yorkshire, buoyed by their result against St Helens 2 weeks ago. The away team come into the game with 4 missing players from their squad altogether, as Lloyd Wright, Matthew Juzame, Gadwin Springer and Latrell Shalkel, even, I apologise for getting the name incorrect, being the only missing parts of the Toulouse squad. While the Castleford Tigers make just one change to their 21-man squad after beating Leeds in the Cup last week. Daniel Smith drops out due to a calf strain, and James Clare is the player drafted into the squad, but he's likely to be Suya Matagi, who comes into the 17, which he does on the bench. And it's Castleford who gets the ball rolling for the first try of the game. After some patient play by Cass, it comes to, after coming close a couple of times, it's Greg Eden who gets in on the left edge to score in the corner, which Gaz O'Brien kicked over from the touchline. It's another try for Castleford on the 24th minute to make it 10-0, as Niall Evans gets on the end of a Greg Eden kick to make it 10 points to 0 to the Tigers. O'Brien adds the extras again for 12 points to 0, and after a penalty by Gaz O'Brien makes it 14 points to 0, it's Castleford who are in once again. After being patient and playing some decent rugby, it's a great drive by Liam Watts, Niall Evans, and then Adam Milner, who goes over just left of the posts. Gaz O'Brien adds the extras, and it's 20 points to 0 at half time. The next try comes on the 49th minute, as Castleford are again on the attack, and they pass it to the right, and Jake Malmo receives the ball and finds a gap to rush through to score his home Tigers try, his first one, which O'Brien adds the extras to at 26 points to 0. We now come to the 58th minute, as the ball is in Castleford's hands once again, and Liam Watts shows and goes and uses his big frame to get over the line for 30 points to 0, which is 32 points to 0. It gets a bit rough, and it is Lucas Albert who is sent to the sin bin due to a kick out at Castleford's Barreto Fariamo. In front of 7,067, Toulouse get onto the scoreboard on the 79th minute, despite being down to 12 men, after some great interchange play which finds Tony Gigot scoring right to the post, which Chris Hankinson adds the extras to, and a full-time score of 32 points to 6 to Castleford Tigers. And to finally finish off this Friday night of games, there was one game in the championship as Leigh Centurions took on Dewsbury Rams, and as you can see, it was a one-way of affair, unfortunately, for Dewsbury, as Leigh ran in 9 tries and 6 conversions. Nina MacDonald, having a well of a year, scores another try, and Christian Inu scores 2, while Caleb Aiken scores from fullback, and Keenan Brand, Johnny Seata, MacDonald and Mella all got a try apiece. Inu converted 6 of the tries to put Leigh in with a shout of where Featherstone and catching Featherstone, while Dewsbury are in the doldrums and are set to have a long season ahead of them, playing in a relegation battle. Let's hope they turn it around. Good little club. And that's it for today's episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and also click that notification bell for any updates that may be coming your way, as well as any more news for Rugby League. So, tell me what your thoughts are of today's games. Do you still think, like me, that Leeds are in a bit of an issue, as well as Warrington being in such a difficult place? Transition is coming a bit too soon for them. Do you think that Saints are definitely going to be winners of the league, or is there another team that have caught your eye so far? I've seen individual brilliance, but not too many team collectives come together. Giants might be up there. They're, like I said at the beginning, they're my dark horse. But I'm still not sure, as they keep coming up with some indifferent results. Again, they try and get their team together. I'm sure they could be up there. Leigh Centurions in the championship doing well once again, with a fantastic scoreline against Dewsbury. Plucky Dewsbury, unfortunately, are in a tough spot. Hopefully that changes soon. But anyway, thank you for watching. Please remember to share this video worldwide and get the word out for our rugby league. It's ours. We're the fans. We love this sport. But in the meantime, please stay safe. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next episode.